unmitigated pleasure having these episodes and sessions with you all, getting back into tabletop role playing, even if it is just electronically. But we can hopefully enjoy the lives, times, and tribulations of our characters. So, for the record, this is Soup City Sins, Season 4, Episode 4, The Universe and Stupidity of Mankind. When we last left our coterie, Hestia, having concluded a meeting with the citywide fixer and the employee of the Shadow Kings, Norris, Clyde, in the presence of Edith Bobian, known as the Painted Lady, one of the vaunted, established Nosferatu of the city. As child of the Nosferatu, pretty much in Khalid, she carries a certain weight in society proper. Lucio and Dizzy watching as the result of Hestia's actions leave a stain on the table for their slowly healing Ignacio, and our soon-to-be addition to the coterie, Whispers, having concluded a meeting with the mayor of Avondale. A simple mission, a simple assignment, a simple request, though not simply carried out. Take over what Tommy was doing, find out for yourself. And so we begin in the havens, in the coterie's haven, in the shelter's haven. Now, one thing that the coterie, our protagonists, have not quite righted within themselves is, despite all of the favors, misfortunes that they've established and experienced and overcome, their legend has grown. There is word spread near and slightly less near of the coterie of children or neonates who accosted a primogen of the city and got away with it. There are legends spreading, although much more quietly, of the coterie of children who vanquished a lupine, saving untold ghouls and bloodbound kind, as well as several notable kindred who publicly would never address such that they would have been in such a location, but privately are spreading the word of their heroic, brave, and surprisingly powerful actions. So we pick up in the shelter's haven with Dizzy and Lucio sitting with the bleeding Ignacio, who, because people are sleeping here, I can't really voice how vociferously he is cursing and attempting to reassume his position of authority, at least in his own mind. So he's trying to exert his dominance through raised volume and excessive profanity. Arsenio is leaning, arms crossed, just watching.
I'm still in the room, right?
Yes, sir.
I think I was still trying to get a hold of Clyde, but while I'm waiting for him to pick up, if he does, I'm gonna ask Arsenio. Arsenio, you look like you have some serious things you want to get off your chest. Think now's the time.
Nah, it ain't worth it. Either I gotta kill him or he's definitely gonna try to kill me, so it's best not to say anything one way or the other right now. To which Ignacio, you scum-sucking piece of shit, of course I'm gonna fucking kill you. As soon as I get from under this, you're fucking dead. You're lucky I don't know where your bitch-ass mother is, otherwise I'd hunt her down and have her dead now. You rat, you working with this motherfucker here and his people instead of for your own fucking blood. You're dead.
That's so cute. I say we cut him free.
You should. It's the best thing for everybody involved. You let me go, I go get my mom, we disappear. And when I'm done disappearing and this matter's already settled, I'm coming for him and anybody who fucking helps him, he says, pointing at Arsenio. Arsenio's heard such threats previously. He knows approximately how vicious Ignacio can be, and it's clear to you, Dizzy, he's not entirely as worried as someone who's just been threatened or had their family threatened.
As I'm still on the phone, I walk over to Ignacio and I tell him, "You lay a finger on him, I will consider that an attack on me. And that will violate our deal. If you do that..."
You really gonna put yourself between me and a fucking rat? That's how you choose? Fuck out of here.
Think very carefully about what you want to do.
Oh, I'm thinking.
Very carefully.
Oh, I'm thinking. I'm really fucking thinking. I'm fucking bleeding from my sack. He is a rat, and you want to protect him.
At this point, I ignore him, and I'm turning my attention back to the phone.
And as that is taking place, as the exchange of power, Clyde, you've seen worse things, and you were classily attempting not to address it, but as this young or indescribably old or young now throw out 2 steps within inside your personal bubble. Not close enough to be threatened, but definitely close enough to mitigate an easy escape from this potential situation. Your phone rings.
That's inconvenient. Give me a second, love.
So a nice tense moment where power dynamics are shifting back and forth, and she's attempting to exert some semblance of dominance over this situation. Clyde politely asks, "Give me a quick second." He steps away, opening his phone. It's Lucio. You still have him saved as Coterie, which means there's about 4 different numbers that come up when his number appears as well. But it's clearly Lucio.
Hey, Lucio, my man. I'm in the middle of getting my head cut off, but what can I do for you?
Well, I guess that answers one of the questions that I had for you. The other question was, where are you?
Well, I think I could tell you, but my guest probably will not be very happy about that. I'm turning to the lady. Do you mind if I tell him where I am?
It is a free country.
No. Oh well, in that case, I was strolling down the bar. I don't remember the name.
The Billy.
And I seem to have put my foot in my mouth. Now I explained to this very, very nice lady that I know that I did wrong. We are just talking about it.
I'm assuming you're going to need backup, it sounds like. So...
No, we are the best of friends, right?
Not at all.
Oh, well, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Until you say otherwise, I'm just going to assume that we need your help.
It's always good to hear from you. Yeah. And I'm gonna do like I hang up the phone, but I leave the phone line open and put it in my pocket.
As you slip the phone away, luckily for you, your doing so does not trigger the touchscreen. It doesn't light up further, it doesn't go dim, but your company is a little less tech savvy than most, and so she doesn't pay much attention to the slight tint of light coming from your pocket. She actually assumes that's the standard. So you want to work out some reason you can hunt specifically here?
Oh no, but you see, as I was telling you, it was just a one night thing. I just need like some 10, 15 grand. It's yeah. I just assumed with the douchebags that you have up there, it wasn't. They will even feel the pinch. Really, that's all I wanted. I mean, I can get you another 5 grand.
I don't need any money. Actually, I have a suggestion. We can mitigate this entire evening's exchange. How about this? I'll give you a 6-minute, 66 steps and 6 seconds between each step. I'll count to 66, and if I find you before the hour is out, I get a drink.
Well, sounds fair. So just so I know, from which to which is your domain, so you don't have to see me anymore.
The entirety of River North and anybody else I find in my path. Fortune.
No, write it in.
15, 16, 17.
So
18.
how high? We were in some stairs, right?
Yes, the stairs.
Fire
The stairs.
or something like that.
Well, the stairs up to Upper Michigan, which is actually what most people consider street level. This area of downtown, there's actually an upper and a lower level. The lower level is typically used for deliveries and people who know that that's one of the best ways to get into some of these buildings, bypass all of the foot traffic and be unseen. The Kindred typically use it for conversations, feeding on the homeless, and other less than savory activities. Hence the reason why she was so keen on meeting you outside in the lower Michigan. As you're on the steps up, you can either go up to Upper Michigan, which is street level, so you have a lot of tourists from out of town, lots of cars, lots of people, even at this hour of the evening. If you stay on Lower Michigan, it is 100% chance that there wouldn't be any immediate breach of the masquerade for any displays and abilities.
So just let me check how hungry am I. I think I'm at 2. I may be at 3.
Well, you did drink, so you actually should be at 1 at this point.
Okay, then I'm gonna try to obfuscate if there's a hidden enough corner.
Okay, so do you head down the steps to completely be on her level and take off to try to bend a corner, or do you head upstairs to bend a corner out of her line of sight and attempt to activate obfuscate? So which path are you attempting to take?
I'm guessing up.
Okay, so you head up to street level.
The more direct way.
Okay. Yep. So you head up, as you're heading up to Upper Michigan, there are more people. There are more time floating around. So grabbing a dark corner to activate obfuscate would be a little more difficult to verify for sure, but you'd have more potential witnesses if someone else were to attempt to use their disciplines as well.
Yep.
All right. And which discipline are you attempting to use?
Level 2 obfuscate on Scene Passage, I think it is, or that's level 1. Give me a sec. I keep finding my backstory and not my character sheet. Yep, level 2 obfuscate. I think it's actually there's no. I just have to spend the plot. There's no roll.
Yep. Rouse roll. Okay. So one quick rouse roll, and while you make that roll, we're gonna slide right on down to Hestia. Will be back to you in a quick second. Whispers. Your meeting with Martin didn't go quite as equanimous as you'd like. He seems a bit more brusque than your fellow cousins in Dalton. And far more brusque than either Calhoun or Salt themselves. He seems like a cross between Batman and Sam Spade in terms of the old trench coat, the fedora, and his willingness to do whatever it takes to protect Avondale. Your exchange of information with Calhoun does have you at St. Hyacinth's just after sunrise, as you are staking out the area, trying to take in sight of the garden, and you see him there speaking with a priest. It's clear that he caught sight of you, and there's a small bit of annoyance in his seeming, but he doesn't seem too greatly put out. In fact, if you were to put your finger on it, it's more an appraisal of, check you out, versus, I can't believe you did this shit. It's more of a, okay. And as he breaks free of the priest and makes his way towards you, the exchange of information you have with him is simple. Tommy was keeping watch on a supposed friend's adopted children. He was grooming them for something, I'm not sure what. If you want to help and you want to find out what happened to him, you need to meet and find a way to see what they were into. Get next to them, figure them out, and see how connected they are to him, to their mentor, to their Charlie for their angelhood.
Okay, thanks for the information. I'm gonna go find them. I think I know who they are.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. A lot of people know who they are these days. There's a reason why I'm worried about them being used by this Palooka. See if you can. See if he pulled the wool over their eyes and got them doing this dirt for them, alright? Checking with me every couple of days.
Will do. I'm on it.
What's your plan of action?
I'm gonna go right there and knock on the door and meet them personally.
Well, that's definitely one way to do it. So needless to say, that's your plan. That's your course of action. Getting to the front door is not all that hard at all. In fact, it's as easy as simply being needy or walking up to the door. The shelter is one of the nicer shelters. There are places for computer usage, places for cohabitation for families that are down on their luck, places that most shelters are typically segregated male, female, or female and children, or the like. This particular shelter is a little more nice, a little more politically correct in terms of, you are who you are. It doesn't really matter. Families, of course, can habitate together. Those who prefer not to, of course, don't have to. There are co-ed doors, provided there's no unnecessary or offensive private actions happening in public. And no drug use, no what have you. But not only are they a shelter, but they also feed those in the area who simply just don't make enough to afford groceries. So while not a full-fledged soup kitchen, they do help by offering meals at a discounted price, meaning you pay what you can. So during most nights, the early service, the early portion of the evening is handled with suppers and the like at row upon row of picnic-style family dining tables. There are faces that, while having suffered through life's ups and downs, have found some semblance of actual community, people who care, who don't try to sell their particular political ideations or religious doctrine. This is a place that is designed to help those who either need or cannot help themselves. So, in just a quick appraisal, having entered and been part of one shelter or another for the bulk of his time as a kindred, this isn't so much a shelter as a community center with the aims of ensuring that this community isn't as bad off as it would be otherwise. All right, so as you're mingling with the staff, with the staff of its community, its people, its indigents, Hestia, you're heading back to the Haven after having met with Norris. It is not the most comforting of feelings. It never is. Everyone has an angle they're working. Everyone has a goal they're driving towards. Everyone wants to keep that ace in their pocket. Your biggest, most obvious problem with that is you're no one's tool. You're no one's card to be played when they chose. Your life is your own. You have spent the bulk of 100 years protecting your specific, direct, personal freedom of action and thought. To have something hanging over your head is worrisome. It does not fill you with the warm and fuzzies. So much so that it almost slips your mind. It almost passes by as just background noise. Your wards over the shelter, being as unlike most blood sorcerers, people who understand, your wards are not designed to harm. They're designed to alert. So that thrumming, that nonstop, almost klaxon that has been there since the arrival of so many new to you and to the Coterie as a whole, has lessened some. It's still there, and your wards are still strong, but the lessening of it, or more specifically, you're growing accustomed to the ringing in your ears, has made it almost bearable.
No, I'm sure there's not a lot of room in her brain right now for things to be loud, so she's probably shutting most of that out. Did Damien get the message that I sent, or she sent?
You have not had a response, but that's not that atypical, considering part of what they were doing in Milwaukee has resulted in wounding and the necessity of mending for someone as strong as your Maula. So surely Damien probably suffered equally and may need a little time. As you enter into the haven, enter into the shelter, thinking on Damon, you pause and you look into the space where everyone is dining. You couldn't have seen what you thought you saw. That shouldn't be. Wait, was it? Whispers, in your approaching the front door and meeting the patrons of the shelter, is there anything specifically that you are wearing to obfuscate what you look like?
Gotti and black jeans.
Yep, that's exactly what it looks like. You have a homeless member who looks, well, you've seen the movie Dark Man, though not for years, but that's exactly what he looks like, a modern retelling of that.
With the amount of pure bullshit that's been going on lately, I know not to ignore my instincts. So, looking directly at this person as they set off alarms in my head, probably both literally and figuratively, I walk very carefully over as not to spook them. What brings you here this evening? You might be able to offer.
Well,
That whispers was a little too low to hear.
you remember Tommy? He was one of my cousins. He disappeared.
Oh. Well, I do apologize that he disappeared. Why don't you come to my office? We'll have a talk.
Sure.
And I also look around to make sure that there's nobody else really paying us too much attention. Just by the fact he says cousin Tommy, I already know what I'm dealing with, kind of. So I'm just gonna prying eyes head into the office. I've also been wondering, like, if since the FBI thing happened, if we probably been meaning to sweep it for bugs, or find somebody that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to keep the conversation very generic, basically, but I asked them, what would you like to know?
What happened to Tommy? He disappeared.
He was assigned to us by somebody. We never found out who. But one night we had to do a job and rescue somebody. And he came with us. The place we ended up was full of very strange magic underneath the Succubus Club. I don't know if you've ever been there, but yeah. We weren't in there long before people started disappearing. He was one of the first to go. We could not see anything, and we went to go look for him, but we never found him and had to leave the darkness so that we didn't get stuck in it. There was a monster in the tunnels, and we managed to kill it. But there's something about that place was kind of crazy, and while I'm very, very sorry that we weren't able to rescue him, I don't think we would have had much choice. about it. So he was taken, and we don't know where.
Was it when the Pacific was killed?
Well, I don't know for a fact that he was killed, but we can only assume the thing that was snatching people in the tunnel was kind of dangerous, and it took everybody to bring it down.
I'm replacing Tommy, so I'm just gonna hang behind you guys.
See, that's all fine and great, but we never asked for Tommy in the first place, and I'd rather not get anybody else killed because, see, we've already had enough death tonight. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm tired of being followed and jumping through little hoops and playing little games. So, while that's great, glad you came to find out what happened to Tommy. Thanks, but no thank you.
Unfortunately, I was assigned. I gotta follow you. It's the job, man. It's the job.
You can see, like, her jaw just kind of clenches and starts to tighten, and there's a bit of a tick. And she's just like, Jobs are interesting things. They really, really are. Who is it that hired you then, since this is a job?
Well, that's the thing. I'm picking up Tommy's job, so I had to get introduced to it. But once I find out, I'll let you know. But I'm pretty sure it's enough for her to.
No, that's not what I asked. See, what I'm asking you, because I know you said it's a job, so that means somebody's paying you, somebody sent you here. Who did that? That's what I want.
I was living in Dalton. My friend told me to find Tommy, so I came here and asked all my cousins what was Tommy working on. They said you, so I'm following you guys until I complete Tommy's job.
Of course. Of course. Just like anybody else want to get their little hands and fingers involved in everything that we have going on right now. That's just great. You know what? Fine, do what you want, but you know what? We're not. If something happens, we are not responsible. You gotta handle your own self, okay? Because that's what happened with Tommy. You need a place to stay.
Yeah, sure, I can do that. But just in case, it's so much.
Do you know anything? Well, you can't be around the people typically because all we need is somebody to spot you, and the next thing we know, there's a monster in the shelter. Oh no, we don't need that right now. Okay. You wait right here. I'm gonna go get the rest of the coterie, and we're gonna decide some things, and then I'll come back. Okay, stay right here.
Okay, so you head back down to Ignacio, Arsenio, Lucio, Dizzy, and Alex. What are you saying?
When she comes in, her face is very obviously irritated. Guess what,
Ignacio
guys?
Ignacio looks as Hestia storms back in a rush of motion. She's calm to everyone else, but to him, it looks as if the demon, the banshee herself, is wailing into the room. And while he restrains the effort to flinch, you can tell just from the quick muscle tick that he very much is contemplating on establishing as much distance as possible.
Oh, are you still bleeding?
Fuck you.
So I could cut you deeper than I meant to. Oops. Anyway, so you went a little bit okay. We'll see what happens. No promises, but they at least know the news. I had to tell them. I haven't heard back from Damien yet, but I'm hopeful that he will show up or let me know that he can come here so that he can meet you, Dizzy, so that we can get you introduced into Chicago. And then, yeah, things can happen. So then there's that. Have you heard from Clyde?
I have, actually, and it seems like he's in a bit of bother.
Of course he is. Yep, wonderful. And then the cap all of this off. You remember Tommy?
Yes. What happened?
Yeah, apparently, somebody has sent somebody to replace him, and they are waiting downstairs in the office, and they will not take no for an answer. Because this is their job to take over where Tommy left off.
Oh dear. All right. One thing at a time. One thing at a time. Arsenio, I need you to do me a favor. I hand Arsenio my phone. Clyde is on the line. Make sure, I want you to go pick him up, meet him wherever he needs you to, get him back here ASAP.
So you need me to go play Uber for your guy? Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure thing. Anything to be away from this fucker. He walks out.
All right. So, hopefully that should be enough to get Clyde safely back here. And now, I suppose we should meet this new person. Dizzy, you want to come with us, or would you rather babysit Ignacio?
I mean, he is kind of cute, and I'm sure we could have all kinds of fun together, but where are we going?
Excellent question. Hestia, where are we going?
Just to the office. We're not leaving. They're downstairs in the office. I told them to wait there because I separated them from the residents of the Haven. So, or shelter, sorry. Yeah, they're in the office.
So you guys all trundle up, leaving Ignacio there, because it's not like he can easily get past you to get out anyway. Most of the other exits, thanks to Simone, have been sealed off except for your secret entrance, the entrance through the shelter, and the entrance through the parking garage, which are all obfuscated, hidden through camouflage, basically. So you all get to the office. I'm going to link you all to Whisper's profile pic. Give you, instead of having to describe the ruinous look of him. If you all take a quick glance over to Open Play, there's a pic of what roughly Whisper looks like when you all enter into the office. His face occluded as much as possible with a hoodie and dark jeans, but that's Whispers. So as you all go into the office, anyone with a resolve of 2 or less, go ahead and roll a resolve in either persuasion or resolve in subterfuge to stomach the look of him.
My resolve is 4, and I've met Janice, so
Yes, there is that. As far as comparatively, he is considerably far more handsome and appealing than Janice. By double.
Was that meant to be rolling too, or was it not me?
No, Hesha's been distracted mentally, so she really doesn't take him in. It's just a guy.
As I'm moving down the streets, I'm just like grabbing the phone and whispering where my location is.
Yes.
What are we rolling? I missed that.
Resolve in persuasion or resolve in subterfuge, whichever is higher for you. So you all enter into the office as Whispers is standing there staring out of the window. When he turns around to see everyone who walks into the office, all 5 of you, you're greeted with Whispers. Whispers, Coterie, Whispers.
So, would you guys think you guys are a problem or a threat to the Camarilla?
And while that's happening, and you guys are having your first meeting of Coterie and Whispers and Coterie, Clyde, would you be so kind as to go ahead and roll your wits plus obfuscate for me, please?
If I want to be very, very careful with my movement, can I roll resolve?
Resolve? No, you're not resisting anything. You're the active person using your stealth. And she's...
Yep. All right. That would be 3 successes.
3 successes. And
you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Just to be safe, I'm gonna roll 2 dice with willpower.
Okay. Fire away when you're ready.
One more success. So 4 total.
All right, sounds like a plan. Let's give a quick gander at... Give me a quick second here. All right, so as you are all but invisible to the mind's eye. If someone were to observe you from a distance and know that you were there, it would seem really strange how everyone kind of turns just before meeting you, or people who are walking in groups move aside to make way for you as you make your way across the concrete, establishing a distance between where she was and anywhere else. Because your goal is to not be her choice meal of the moment. Because while it is highly addictive to drink human blood, drinking vampire blood, while not immediately desirable, once you start, it's like Pringles. It's a lot harder to stop. You're whispering.
You know what?
Mm-hmm.
Just because my character, I probably need to make a roll to try to not talk with myself while all this is happening, because the more stressful I am, the more the voices come over me.
That sounds apropos. So a composure and stealth roll for me, please.
Okay.
Your target number, of course, is your successes previously, so give me a 3 is your target number.
I have 3 dice, so 1 success.
Okay. Well, you are muttering and whispering to yourself. You realize that you're doing it, and that as your attempt to compose yourself and restrain the need to respond, your sense of etiquette and your politeness overwhelms you. That would be rude to not respond when someone's talking to you, but you need to be quiet. Would you shut up? And as your voice raises, you startle the woman who was waiting on a cab. In this day and age, she's actually waiting on a cab, which is weird enough, but you startle her as you seem to appear out of nowhere, directly in front of her. She hadn't noticed anybody getting close, and then there's this relatively solid man appearing out of nowhere, and she jumps and screams. Your wits and awareness is a total of how many dots?
Wits awareness is 5. Oh, sorry. That's wits obfuscate. Wits awareness will be 5 also. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, you are so lost in your own mind. Normally you don't realize just how quick on the uptake you are in detecting things that are happening around you without meaning to. As she screams and you manage to get a word in edgewise, as the monk who is chanting in some Italian ancient dialect and the shoemaker are arguing about you should have prepared better, you should have wore better shoes, you were heading out this evening is unpresentable. You look directly back and see her for who she is. About a quarter of a block from you on the opposite side of the street, initially heading the opposite direction, is Edith. She had lost track of you. You were in the clear. The screen brought her attention directly towards you, and without realizing that you'd been tracking her approximate actions. Because while obfuscated indirectly, just enough to hide that she is not the runway model she thinks she is, you spotted her, the movement of people as she made her way across the sidewalk. She begins to beeline towards you. It's clear that she's taller, clearly stronger, and apparently a little faster than you are.
All right, let me try to dominate her.
Okay. The woman in front of you or Edith?
No, the vampire, for sure.
Okay. that is something that you may be able to do because she is headed directly for you.
Okay. So this is a series of rolls, I'm guessing. Well, not. It's a roll with two different rough checks.
What are you attempting to do?
So I probably want to do the forgetful mind and rationalize, or mesmerize and rationalize.
Okay, so that's a rouse check for Forgetful Mind. And rationalize you can do without any. We're going to, once your rouse is expended, go ahead and roll your manipulation plus dominate. And
oh, fuck. I'm gonna spend another willpower.
okay.
Nice, better. So 5 successes.
All right. So, in the grand scheme of things, there's a success. There's a world-moving, a before and after moment sort of success. And what you manage to score as you catch her gaze, it is clear that she's far hungrier than she should be. She is borderline ravenous. And as you reach into her mind, something snaps. You can almost feel it physically as the rubber band of her control is absolutely gone. Standing before you for a split second is literally the monster from beneath your bed as a child. That deep, abiding fear of the darkness that hides just beyond our conscious mind, that fear that here there are monsters that will not only devour you, but all that you hold dear. And attempting to make her forget the last few moments, 100% successful. She doesn't remember anything except for she wants to eat you. She doesn't even know who you are. But between a vampire and a human, most kindred on working on an animalistic level will immediately go for the human. And that's exactly what happens as your blood, your vitae runs a little cold as she bares fangs and she leaps toward the woman trying to get into the cab. You are of no concern to her. You don't exist in this moment. She didn't realize how she got here, nor does she care. The one thing that she wants more than anything else is the living, beating heart of this woman. And she will have it at any cost. On a busy downtown street.
So with the forgetful mind, I can completely rearrange her memory, right?
With Forgetful Mind, you can erase the last few moments, which you did instantaneously. There was no resistance.
No, I think that's cloud memory. Forgetful mind is level 3.
Yes. Sorry about that. Let me just do this. Yes. You do have the ability to erase and arrange memories, whole swatches of her memory.
Yeah, and with rationalize, it seems she will think that it was her own free will.
Yes. Your attempt to is 100% successful. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your wishes as to her understanding, her conscious understanding of the situation, it wholly takes effect. Unfortunately, her conscious mind is not there. Her bestial failure drives her towards her end goal, which was to feed, while she normally consciously prefers the very rich, vital of your type of vitae. The human smells better in the moment.
I'm just gonna shout. And remember that we are Clyde Parolo is your best friend. And then I'm gonna jump into the taxi and drive into the sunset.
Alrighty. As Edith divests this young lady of her existence, I will make a note of that. Where are you directing this very scared, very fearful driver who, much like most denizens of the urban jungle, realizes that when the predators are eating, it is best to be elsewhere. So he starts driving without a destination in mind. He even so busy driving away from the situation, whatever that was, because clearly it was a lover's spat of some sort. Forgets to turn on the meter.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell him. Oh no, this city is getting worse and worse, mate. Just I'm gonna give him like an address like 6 or 7 blocks away from here.
Okay, not a problem. Pick a direction: north, south, east, or west.
In the general direction of the haven.
All right, so 6 blocks north, down Michigan. He let you out near the old Playboy penthouse. You are just off of Ohio and Michigan. And the lake is lapping gently in the distance. The traffic from Lakeshore Drive is whizzing by. You look up at the building where the Playboy penthouse once resided and realize that this would be prime hunting ground. There's a playground to your left for those who live in the area with their children, and in this case, dogs and various pets of exotic nature. This area is the definition of too much money and not enough time to spend it. There are all sorts of exotic vehicles passing you by, and clearly they were purchased with the idea of the status symbol inherent in their label.
All right, let me see if I can do the thing that I wanted to do in the first place.
So,
which is basically try to convince a fat cat to make an anonymous contribution to a bank account.
okay. Well, tracking down a person of particular wealth is literally as easy as throwing a rock. You make your way into the lobby of the building and literally pick a condo number bell at random. See the name on it. It is Thacker, the Thacker residence, and you call up. What are you using to gain access to their domicile?
I'm guessing there's a concierge or some sort.
Yes, there's a man at the desk. He is clearly well on the downside of the hill. This job is literally just to offset his pension. And he really doesn't care.
I'm gonna tell him. Oh, listen, my man. Do you know that the people that live in the second floor? I need a quick word with them.
You mean the 22nd floor?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Which family?
Then I'm gonna do the terminate again.
Make it happen. What is your wishes?
Rolling with the hungry roast chicks tonight. I'm just gonna tell. Oh, you know, I'm an old family friend. I'm betting that they will be delighted to receiving me. It's just a surprise.
He doesn't bother to follow protocol. Protocols will escort you up, even in such cases as you would be allowed into the building. He simply hands you his pass key and go round it up, drop it back off when you leave.
Oh,
And
thank you, man.
he turns back to his tablet as if you never actually crossed his attention. It makes perfect sense to him. He's well within his rights and responsibilities as doorman to keep out the riffraff. You're clearly not riffraff. You belong here. You're a friend of the family, after all. He's just doing a solid.
Yeah, I'm gonna grab my phone and give the hey, Lucio, I'm at this number. Just wait for me that down the corner. I'll be 15 minutes late.
15 minutes? I was told to play Uber, not to fucking wait. I'll be there.
This?
I'll be there in like 10 minutes.
Who's this?
Who is this? This is Arsenio.
Oh, you're Lucio's friend, right?
Yeah, you're Lucio's friend, right?
Yeah, well, I am. So, listen, if I give you a 50, will you wait for me?
Yeah, okay.
All right.
What are you doing in that neighborhood anyway? I thought you were in trouble.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you when I get down.
All right, done. I'll be here. While at the Haven, you all have had the opportunity to speak with Whispers. He states that he
So, like I was saying, Martin wanted to make sure that you guys were not a threat. So you guys are not a threat, right? You guys are safe, right?
Safe as a condom in Sunday school.
Perfect. Yeah. Great. So I'll let him know.
Hesha, your phone rings.
Taking a really deep sigh. Because she just had enough. The whole conversation, she's kind of listening, but not. Excuse me a moment. And she looks down at the number.
As per usual, when dealing with most of the actual kindred of the Camarilla, those who have any positions, it's a number you haven't seen before. They work through burners like no one's business, but it's clear that someone had this number or may have, had purpose with this number.
Okay. Z steps out of earshot and oh, you got Hestia.
Leo has, does this have to happen tonight?
I would prefer that it did because it's a major problem.
All right.
There's also the fact that I need you to meet this kindred so that they can.
I'm pulling
do
up
what
now.
They need to do.
I was hoping to get back to my
Okay.
my place, but yeah, I'm pulling up now.
I'm
You want to
sorry.
do that? You want to do this in the shelter? You want to do this in the parking garage? Oh God, I'm a little tired. Oh.
I mean, whatever. Shelter's fine to me. It's not like I have anything to hide.
All right. Your office, or you want me to meet you in the lunchroom? And you hear the car door close.
Yeah.
All right, I'm coming in now.
Yeah, I'll be out in a second. Yep. So I hang up. Big sure I hang up. Did Aiden perchance come downstairs, or did he stay up away?
He's sitting there with Ignacio. You didn't ask him to come down.
Oh, thank goodness. Because that could have been bad.
He doesn't want to be on the receiving end of a stiletto in his sensitive areas. He still uses his.
Yeah, no, that's so good that we did not bring Aiden with us. So I'm looking at the rest of the Coterie. Damien's here. Please be on your best behavior. I'll do my best to mitigate as much danger as possible. And he's very, very tired, it seems. So we might just catch a break tonight. Yay for breaks!
I will do my best to be seen and not heard.
Well, you've all met Damien before. Not you, Dizzy, but everyone here present has met Damien in one fashion, form, or another. His job as a sheriff. He makes sure that, things run as smoothly as they can. Publicly. Privately is a shit show. But as someone as inundated with work, from rampaging kindred to terrorist actions made to, helicopters crashing a kindred party, he has been worked beyond the limits of what formerly was the responsibilities of the position, including but not limited to being loaned out as of sorts to help another city. So this evening, much like the others who were part of the party gone to help Milwaukee, he has returned a little worse for wear. So while normally, under other situations, he looks to all intents and purposes like a newly legal teenager with a whelpish physique, the weight of ages rests on his shoulders. So while he still seems in his late teens, early legal majority, physically, but there's a tiredness about the eyes, a haunted look that makes him seem as if the wrong face is on the wrong body. Dressed in jeans, a Baby Chorus t-shirt, and a North Face that's clearly a few years out of style, he enters, hands in his back pocket. Okay, Esther, what's going on?
You want the bad news or the bad news first? Oh, actually, no, there's good news. But good news or bad news first?
Well, I was always one to like my dessert first, so what's the good news?
I'd like to introduce you to a newly arrived Chicagoan from Indiana by way of lots of different other states. Dizzy. I look at him, found her, and decided that she obviously had to make herself known since we were trying to be good hounds. Yep.
Dizzy, you, of course, gotta meet the prince and all that eventually, but let me ask you, because the next Elysium's not until, what day is it? We still got another week before the next actual citywide Elysium. Do you belong to anything other than the tower?
I mean, I don't really belong to anything, but I'm willing to learn.
Okay. Got an idea about the traditions?
Yeah, I know them. There's you tell people when you're around, and you don't tell people what you are, and you don't kill other people, and you don't make people those things.
Yeah. Do you just, can you at least keep those? We have enough trouble going on.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Look, that's just the show. These guys say you're okay. They've clearly been keeping you. I don't know how long. 2 days, 3 days, a week.
A couple nights, yeah.
Okay. They're hound. So, being the fact that you're not staked, I'm hoping that means you're a good person. If you're not a quote unquote good kindred, meaning you kill kids, you drain bodies, leave them in the street, you blow up cars, you attack Primogen or attempt to attack the prince, I'll put you down. Clearly they like you, they won't want to put you down. I don't care. I can like you and still put you down. I would prefer not to, but just so that we're clear. Follow the traditions, keep your nose clean, be there next week, say hi, mind your P's and Q's, bow, scrape, and go on with your life. We good with that?
Seems fair to me, sir.
By the way, I know she said it, but I'm Damien. Service for somebody else. Where's the African guy?
She winces when he says the whole attacking the Primogen thing. She's just like, it was like she was slapped. But she keeps a straight face. Well, see, that's the bad news.
That's the bad news?
That's the bad news. We had a meeting tonight to handle something important to keep ourselves out of trouble, hopefully. And we were ambushed.
Don't tell me Genghis is doing shit again.
No, this is not Genghis.
There's a 99.99% chance it was the Sabbat.
Yeah. And we fought them back the best we could, but in the process of doing so, Simone was taken, and we are almost assured that he is dead. We would have no way to retrieve him if he wasn't, obviously.
Alex, since when are you working with these guys? And it's clear from him addressing Alex that he's trying to cipher out exactly how bad. This is the second time the Sabbat have been mentioned. The last time they were in the city, they raised absolute hell and took several decades to actually live down.
Well, it's kind of a long story how I got with these guys, but the more important thing is that that attack was insane. Like, if anybody saw that, I wouldn't know how we would explain it. It was like explosions of shadows and monsters everywhere.
Fucking shit.
I've never seen anything like it.
And they have a hound with them. They took the average. They took Simone. Fucking 7. Fuck. Alright, so Dizzy, right?
Yes, sir.
Step forward. You, hey, sewer rat.
What can I do for you?
Remember my little whole shebang about threatening to kill if you guys step outside the line? forget that. I still will if I have to. Hopefully I won't. These guys need a replacement. Alex, Dizzy, Sewer Rat, you guys are under their control. You're under their purview. You're deputized officially. What these two say for now goes. You all need to find proof of where they might reside. Don't get yourself killed. If you do, you'll get a hero's something. Listen to these two. Hester has my number. Hester, give Lucio my number. Call me when you guys find proof of where they're actually located.
You know what? On that subject, Hestia, why don't we just tell him, like, what we found out last night? Or what we, like, put together? Might as well.
Yeah. Because that's the proof.
There's more.
I'm talking about, like, the whole magic thing that you did. You're better at explaining it than I am.
Oh, that. I thought you were
Yeah,
talking
like-
about the building.
Oh, okay. I'll explain that. You can explain what you found last night first.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so obviously you know what clan I am part of. That needs no explanation. We do things. That's what we do. I was able to live in a memory and see a building in Indianapolis. Or Indiana. What was that? The other place? Indiana? Okay. Sorry, I'm brain fried right now. It's being run by a Sabbat. They've taken over the government, or at least that small part of it, and hiding in plain sight. And they stated that their plan is, within the next 2 years, to have a base of operations in Chicago, and they're working very hard on it right now.
You just have so much good news.
I'll just wait till you hear what I have to say.
Well, luckily Indianapolis is damn near 4 hours away. If you guys find out where they're setting up a base or find any proof that they have a location here in the city, we can act on it as a unit together.
Speaking of which,
Okay, what do you got?
Laura Blackenlee was at this address, and I show him the address of the house that I was supposed to investigate. This house, I had investigated a bit. Officially, it's supposed to be owned by the government. Unofficially, the Sabbat were in there.
Oh, fucking shit.
And please correct me if I'm wrong, and I say that looking to the other two. There's an agent in there, goes by the alias Mook. He's been hiring various people to run all kinds of information gathering jobs. And when I looked in there, I saw him standing right next to Laura Blackenlee. So I am 99% certain he is either a kindred himself or has been bloodbound to her and is working with the Sabbat.
All right, so 2 things we gotta do. I can't just take assumptions as valid as I take in your word. We need some serious proof to present to the Provincial. I'll present what you guys have already given me thus far. Your jobs at this point is to keep a watch on that location from the safe distance. Get as many accurate pictures, not digital images, as you can, so that in a week we can present everything we have and get the right and ability to do something more directly about them.
Understood. And
You do know what
one less.
you do know what you're saying, right? For the record, Laura Blakeney, her coterie of associates, for a lot of years, going 3, 4 more decades back, worked as fixers for Peterson, and before him, as off the book hitters for the former Prince Loden. Them, Myers, guy named Takashita, and a guy named Duncan. They dealt with problems nobody else could. They were the template for what the Hounds are supposed to be. Free-thinking agents of the Prince. Blakeney disappeared shortly before the Sabbat attacked. Duncan, as far as I know, left the country to Belize. Takashita is buried under Grant's tomb. And Myers, well, he's still operating, and so is his close personal Toreador fixer, Devereaux. So if Blakeney, Sabbat, and these guys don't know, it's highly unlikely. If they do know, and then tell anybody, or didn't let us know, repercussions can be pretty big for them. So before I throw another elder under the bus, especially the guy who literally put his neck on the line for me no less than 2 days ago, I am definitely going to need proof.
I understand what I'm saying. I trust that Myers has no affiliation with Laura, but I am certain that Laura is Sabbat.
Okay. I'll take what you guys are giving me, and I'll be the bearer of bad news. But this is gonna really make shit hit the fan, especially if they're plugged in with the government.
Estia, was there anything you wanted to add?
The whole thing about when she starts mentioning Myers, her face kind of changes a little bit, and she's trying to hide how she's feeling because this is the second time somebody's kind of tied him into all of that. But then she just kind of nods and she's like, I would say we'd had enough bad news for the evening, but there's something about those memories. It was like living them and hearing this person state what their plans were. You said if we feel like we know where their base of operations would be, the problem with that is they want the Haven. They want this place as their base of operations. And we are fighting tooth and nail to keep it from happening.
Well, once they don't have it, you guys are clearly doing something right. Just gotta keep doing whatever it is till we rout them out of the city. I'm going to take this back to Jackson. Hopefully he has a better idea for planning, because what I want to do is just simply burn everything fucking down, but that plays right into everybody's hands. I will be in contact. Keep your phone, keep that number on. Don't toss that phone yet. When I reach back to you, go ahead and toss it. I'll see you guys either in the next couple of days or at the Elysium. This week is going to be held at the Art Institute. Use the Balboa Drive entrance through the garage if you haven't heard from me by then. All right, I gotta go.
Hey, real quick, Damien, you seem a little stretched thin. So if you ever need some of my kind of assistance, don't be afraid to try to reach out, because you really seem kind of exhausted, bud.
I am. You don't want to know what the fuck we just did. And yeah, you three are officially deputized under Hestia and Lucio. They're hounds. You guys are officially deputized. You're assistant hounds. What they say, you kill. Or come running, screaming, getting help. This can't happen. This really can't happen. The last time anything close to this happened, the city almost fell. We lost over 90 kindred. Some have not returned since, i.e. they're completely dead. The city was wiped out, and all these new bodies moved in, and things went even further to hell before they got better. I can't spend another 30 years trying to dig out from underneath this. I lost a lot of good friends last time. I'm not losing anybody this time. Get proof, get pictures. I'll see you in a couple of days if I can. If not, I'll see you at Elysium. Get this taken care of, Hestia, Lucio. When he leaves, he's clearly broken down. He's clearly a lot on the line. He clearly is stretched beyond thin. And as he leaves the building, Hestia, Lucio, Dizzy, you guys were there at Oasis. Part of the Hounds and Sheriff job is to keep proof of kindred from reaching anybody's attention. That means Dizzy's action to remove the fangs of that deceased, relatively recently embraced kindred were not only commendable, 100% accurate and correct. However, someone killed a kindred and left the body to be found potentially by the garbage men who were going to be emptying the dumpster in the next couple of days. There was an active, non-deputized, non-assistant hound who was purportedly hanging out in Chinatown. But that's a matter for another day. And as you all mull that over, it is 57 after the hour, so we will meet back here at 7 of the hour. So quick 10 minutes, then we'll get back. We'll hopefully wrap Clyde back to the Haven after his very easily successful mission of obtaining funds from robbing the rich to give to his poor friends. So see you guys in 10 minutes. All right, so, and we're back with those bombshells presented to Damien, the sheriff, and the deputization of Whispers and Alex and Diz. Is there a game plan afoot? And while you all consider that, Clyde, you've done easier things in your life. The realization that for money needs, financial and just the edification of a plan carried out, you could have been doing this the whole time. In a matter of 6.5 minutes, you have divested this family of roughly 15% of their annual earnings. and erase their memory of ever having done so, justified it as something that they simply donated to a random charity, and are downstairs heading to the tall, stocky gentleman dressed in a two-piece with no tie, leaning against a dark sedan of late 80s American manufacturing. It's the perfect car for a livery service. The seats are wide and well proportioned. The car itself looks as if it is a rolling tank. It's blocky and large and designed by the standards of the day to be able to roll down hills, explode, and keep moving.
Oh. And this night keeps getting weirder and weirder. But yeah.
So you the guy?
I am the guy.
All right, come on. Lucio wants you back.
Oh yeah. Lead the way, man.
You seem to be doing pretty good for yourself. Why do you need help?
Oh well, if you just have seen me 30 minutes before, you will probably have bet against me.
Thought I might have to pistol whip somebody. Luckily, I don't, unfortunately for me. Come on, get in. Let's go. He even bothers to open the door for you. Lucio wants you back, so I'll make sure you get there. After that, you can explain to him what all went wrong. You want to stop for a drink on the way?
No, I think that I've drank enough for tonight.
All right,
You know,
suit yourself.
the wrong car.
The drive back is an exercise in restraint. His choice of music, while he keeps it on the conversational level, is not exactly to Clyde's liking. It is a combination of power ballads from the mid to late 80s, 70s, top 50 Americana, and a smattering of Dean Martin.
Just do it.
So, as eventful as his musical tastes are, even without meaning to be, with your awareness of the human psyche, it is clear that other things are bombarding his mind and keeping him preoccupied. You arrive at the haven and make your way in through the shelter. Hestia, Alex, Dizzy, Lucio are all present in the manager's office. And there's the addition of clearly a brother, hopefully that person is male, version of the young person you just ran from and left in downtown Michigan Avenue, hunting and divesting people of their lives. Whispers? Clyde whispers.
I look at him and tell him, "Say, have you met what's her name? Lucy?
Edith.
Edith. Have you met an Edith before?"
Whispers, you're still muted.
I just say like, "Jay, hi, small waist, terrible manners, bad temper.
Whispers, are you still muted? All right. So, guys, Clyde's back. He's attempting to entertain or engage your Nosferatu recent edition. What's the plan? What are you guys doing?
Welcome, Clyde. Welcome back, Clyde. What happened? Who did you piss off?
Well, but listen, I just needed to replace some things that glorious Camarilla port broke, and well, I went to this bar, and long story short, this Edith girl was, for the looks of it, a very mean Nosferatu tried to educate me on the matter, but I think we're square now. Probably.
Didn't quite sound like that over the phone, but I'll drop the matter for now because you're safe. And that's
Well,
what matters.
It didn't feel like that while she was reading on my face, but in the end, I think she stole reason. Also, she ate a poor lady in the middle of the street, so maybe we don't have to worry about her.
Okay. That sounds like a breach of the masquerade, but
Wait, you were running from a Nosferatu who was hunting you, and it was in the middle of a busy crowd, and you managed to get away by using somebody kind of as a human shield.
Oh, no.
In the middle of a busy crowd.
She just tripped and fell into the neck of this lady. I didn't do anything.
It's funny that you think I would fall for that one. It's really, really hilarious. But do you know who just left here? The sheriff of Chicago. The sheriff. And we are hounds. Meant to uphold law. And all we seem to be doing lately is breaking it. And I am surprised we haven't all been staked and set out for the sun yet. Excluding Dizzy because she just got here and hasn't done anything wrong.
I'm so innocent.
So, please.
You need
please stop.
Lady.
All right.
Bigger than me, so I can't shake the shit out of you right now. But I really want to. Simone is dead, Clyde.
What? What? I mean,
Simone is dead, Clyde.
Who? How?
We were ambushed this evening. And what you did, Alex, you let yourself get kidnapped. But that's neither here nor there. That's still Simone's fault. Anyway, yeah, Simone is dead and gone and was taken by the Sabbat.
Man,
So I'm kind of...
I wouldn't say I got kidnapped. More as there was a misunderstanding, and I fixed it myself. Thank you very much.
I mean, I got kidnapped. I'm not judging you.
You don't understand. She holds her hand like way above where her head is. I've had it up to here. With everything.
You're sure?
It's all. You don't understand how badly sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and just want to flick a match to it all and walk the fuck away. But I'm not going to do that because these people need me. Yay!
Listen, I'm all for it. Shit about Simon, but I mean, I can help. I'm not very good with the kicking and the shooting, but still, you need me. You know you can count on me.
Arsenio walks in, slipping a flask, clearly a flask, out of sight. Hey, hey, Luce, can I talk to you for a second?
Sure.
I don't want to worry or nothing. That man's back.
Okay.
I was parking the bro over in the garage. They're still over there.
I immediately hand my phone to Hestia. And I say to her, I think at this point we should just make this standard procedure.
Probably, but then I turn and kind of look at Whispers. You said you were sent here to follow us.
Yeah,
I got that part. So you're obviously good at sneaking around.
kinda. I'm pretty good at that, yeah. You know,
What
you
other
should,
skills do you have?
well, I think that if anything, you should do a Faraday cage. That way people stop hacking you. That's what I do for my haven.
That sounds really good. We're gonna sweep for bugs and do a Faraday cage. If that's somehow simple, I don't know how the hell that works. That would be your purview. But we need a safe space in a haven that we can talk about things without them hearing it. So that is something you can do, good sir.
I'll do that. You tell me where and I'll set it.
Arsenio, where's the van? Tell him.
Oh, it's on the next block. It's right behind the building, basically. They're kind of sticking out. Well, I guess they think you guys are dumb. Or they're trying to force you to do something stupid so they can catch you on camera or something.
Well, the last time I dealt with them, but after what happened tonight, I don't think I should be using my talents for a while. I'd rather not go through that again. So, Whispers, if you are able to do something about that, I'd really appreciate it.
Sure. What do you want? What you need?
So they're definitely spying on us. We basically just need them to not do that anymore, whether that be they get sent somewhere else or their equipment malfunctions again. If you have any experience hacking, that would be awesome. If not, then
You need them to be off your back.
at least for now.
Okay, let me go to my haven. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right. So in the meantime, your plan. What are you guys doing? You've set Whispers at the federal agents that are sitting on the next block, scanning for information, searching for Something specific, something actionable.
While I was out at the meeting, did they decide the best way to get in contact with the Don to start that whole process?
The I don't think we should ever be meeting with the Don unless, like, we plan to assassinate him at that meeting. Because there's no way in hell that we're gonna get anything out of him. So our original plan for tonight was to get the lodestone, but that's probably shot for now, unless you guys think we couldn't make it in time.
No, it's stay where it is for the moment.
All right. In that
Is
case,
there things that you guys need to do?
so then the way I see it is that we have to. So I'm saying the lodestone will probably have to be we'll get that tomorrow, and we have to start figuring out how we're going to get inside that building and investigate it further. Which, Arsenio, you're still here, correct?
Hey, yo.
Tell me everything that your friend found about that place we were investigating in detail, as much as you know, just so we have everyone caught up to speed.
Oh, you mean the well, can't say it no more direct than this. It's a fucking plant house. So the feds, they do these things where they try to entrap everybody without actually entrapping everybody. They actually do the dirt they're trying to arrest you for. Like if you were, for instance, you're looking for guns, they'll set up a private dealer off the books. They'll give you guns. You'll pay some money. Small orders become big orders, and they, through you, find out who you're buying them for, why you're buying them, and hopefully spin you into flipping on all your friends. This house, oh my God, this house is so off the books. Looking at it makes you go a fucking rat. This house is owned by the federal government, and people are going in there buying drugs and shit so that they can be flipped on the people who they work for. Dealers, distributors, so forth and so on. My friend found that these houses, there are 7 in the city. Him being thorough, but this is the main location.
Seven.
Yeah.
7.
Yeah.
Okay. You're on that note, I want you to get me the addresses of those other locations in written form pronto. But with that being said, this is the same place that I believe Aiden was saying that someone was hiring the Thin Bloods to gather information from. Correct?
Yep. Usually through an app, but they occasionally meet at the house to be assigned directly or get solid payments.
And it's also the place that I saw Laura Blackenlee. So that's 3 layers of deep shit that this house has already. All right. So, now that everyone's caught up to speed on what exactly is going on at this house, what are your inputs?
I mean, slow and steady.
It's as good an approach as any. Hestia, Dizzy, Alex. Whispers, I believe, is on his way.
We need absolute non-digital proof. Have to be low tech, have to not get caught at all in any shape, form, or capacity, in any way that we cannot cover up. I don't. Well, you guys used to be detectives or cops or things like that, so you would know better surveillance equipment. It's not my purview. I am a scientist and a botanist and a magic user, so I don't know how best to surveil a government housing or building. I will have to trust you on that. But yeah, my agreement is we do things in small steps, get what we can as much as we can, and then get the heck out.
I mean, making new friends never hurts.
Like, what is it they're moving out of this house exactly?
You asking me? From what I saw, a bunch of fucking drug deals, but they talking about like the bags they were carrying out of there. It's like damn near half a key. That much weight being moved. Whew. You're talking about some real players.
So, I mean, how hard would it be to infiltrate without buying?
Honestly, fucking impossible. You gotta buy, you gotta use, you gotta prove you're not dirty. Well, dirty against the guys who are already dirty, you know.
See, I kind of disagree because those high rollers, they always like to have a little arm candy and show themselves off. You know what I mean?
Well, I clean up nice, but I ain't been nobody's arm candy since I was like 16.
Well, maybe I can shave.
Or we could just bypass that step and I could, you know, shadow my way in. The other thing is, actually, before I say this, storyteller, please make sure I'm getting my story correct.
Yep.
When I looked in that house, I saw people basically hooked up to a bloodletting machine, correct?
Oh, yeah. The basement is filled. Well, not filled. They're not, stacked on top of each other, but the walls, there are seating spread around the walls of the basement where people were plugged and pumped. They were hydrated and fed, but they pretty much are cows on milking machines.
And it was in this room that I saw Mook and Laura, correct?
Yep.
Right. And were the people hooked up human or kindred?
From your peak, it would be almost impossible to tell unless, of course, they bared their fangs or did something supernatural. Typically, for what you understood from dealing with Janice and Sephora, this is competition, which will make them typically human, at worst, perhaps thin bloods like Aiden.
Right. Right, so I relay that information to them. I basically tell them. So, like, when I peeked in there were people hooked up to bloodletting machines, essentially. So I think it's more than just drugs. I think they're actually selling blood, possibly to thin bloods and other kindred. That might be how they're paying them.
This is the government? Man.
So, here's what I'm proposing. Arsenio, I know you didn't want anything to do with that place, but I need, like, the full everything that your guy found about that place put together in a document and sent to me. You don't have to have your name attached to it. If you really don't feel comfortable about it, I'll put my name on it. I'll take the fall, whatever. Just get that information to me, because that is part of what we're going to have to present to the Primogen. And then we're going to have to set
You
up...
always have a.
I'm sorry, what was that?
You could always have me and maybe Whispers sneak in and take a look around. I mean, that's like my whole thing.
I'm also pretty good at sneaking, so we could all go together and scope out the whole place if possible. Unless that's too many people at once.
I mean, here's my
Good.
issue. Are these? Here's my issue. Are these guys that you're dealing with just morons?
What do you mean?
Well, I mean, are they just idiots? So we're just assuming that they're running a kindred operation, and none of them can check to see if, I don't know, people are sneaking in like supernaturally.
I mean, to my understanding, it's pretty difficult to figure out if someone's sneaking supernaturally. As far as I'm aware, you'd have to have a very specific ability to do so.
Yeah, and why would they not hire somebody with that specific ability to do so?
That is a terrifying point to consider.
Well, you guys are talking about like novice level obfuscate. My shit's pretty good.
How good? Actually, what am I saying? You basically like cloaked me and Hestia, so...
Yeah, I was the one who turned you and Hestia invisible during that crazy shadow demon attack.
Right. So... I might have to leave the infiltration to you, because while I am good at sneaking, I'm definitely not that good. The best I could do is basically be the shadow on the wall and follow you in.
Which is no less unsettling. It's no less troubling.
By the way,
Some sort of e-card or something, I can help you with it.
All right.
It'd also be good to have backup in case I or one of us got discovered. And that whole shadow bending thing is kind of terrifying. Maybe you could scare off the guards or blow their brains out like you did that giant wolf lady.
I mean, that would be extremely unsubtle, but if the worst comes to worst, I could do that.
Well, you guys could always shock and awe. What's the worst could happen? Infiltrating a potential off-book federal facility in the heart of the city. Well, not heart of the city, but heart of the south side. And with unknown number of kindreds potentially present, with humans strapped to the wall like cows in feeding pens, with a floor of data surveillance being executed, with a street full of corner boys and passersby. It's a piece of cake. You guys have the skills. You are the best of the best of the best. Or at least the most desperate and inclined.
Stealth would, of course, be the plan A, but you always have to plan for an escape in case that fails. Actually, that's got me thinking, it's been a while since I've had smoke bombs. Does anybody know where I can get smoke bombs?
Like at the Circle K?
They have everything.
Oh, thanks, Whispers.
All right, plan's laid. Right? You guys have a clear-cut plan? You have an idea? A notion?
Sounds like a very big outline, yes.
Well, an outline is the first steps to executing a well thought out, well executed plan that involves a high risk maneuver with a high reward potential. When are you going to initiate it? Are you guys heading out tonight to begin the infiltration, or are you going to sleep on it, allow the day to pass?
How much time is left in the night?
It is roughly 2 a.m., so you got about 4 hours.
So I think we should spend tonight preparing for tomorrow, essentially. Tomorrow we'll do the lodestone retrieval and begin our surveillance of the house.
All right.
Alright, Whispers should probably deal with the cameras if there's a way he can do that. Whispers, can you take
That
care of
isn't-
the cameras?
That is an excellent idea. Whispers, do you think you could do that?
Sure, no problem. I got it.
That only leaves the elephant in the room.
What are you referring to?
You ain't talking about me, are you?
We have a... No, hon. We have a very injured, very irate, very petulant mobster in our upstairs. And he wants to be set free.
Right.
The truth of it is, I don't think he'd keep his word once he was set free. But everybody else, I think, wants to set him free. And I don't want him here any longer than he should be here.
Oh no, I don't want to set him free. I don't trust him either.
I think maybe if we were like
No,
to
I
wait
did, bro.
till tomorrow, and like maybe if Lucy gave him another drink,
Oh, no, he's not
that kind
leaving
of helps
tonight.
out a little bit.
Right now, I think... See, I want to say that he should stay here. But at the same time, I don't know how many survivors of that ambush went back home to tell the Don that, hey, your son survived and that coterie took him to their haven. They might come here if they know he's here. Do we want to take that risk and leave him here? Or do we want to essentially have one of like us take him somewhere else?
Wouldn't they like already be here if that was the case?
That is an excellent point.
I think you ought to keep him till tomorrow and maybe give him a little bit, another drink. And he'll be real pliable at that point, I believe.
Please don't ask me to do that. I have enough guilt as it is with the first one.
I mean, you're leaving a loose end to walk around with a giant grudge.
I'll see how it goes. Tomorrow. We'll see. Oh God, I can't believe I'm doing this. What have I become?
I mean, you could kill him.
Hey, there's a shadow at the door.
Come again?
Shadow.
A shadow outside the door. Oh dear.
Front door or office door?
The office door.
Well, since it's my office, so I suppose I should open the door. I walk very quietly and quickly to the door and whip it open before anybody can move out of the way. What do I see?
There's no person in the hallway. You don't have swinging, free hanging light fixtures in the hallway. There's no reason for any of the shadows, the thinly cast shadows, to move. You would have heard footsteps.
Oh Christ. I'm activating Oblivion Sight.
Can I use my sense the unseen?
All right, before you guys go ahead and roll wits and awareness plus aspects in Clyde's case and plus Oblivion in Lucio's. Your target number 3.
Wits, awareness, and oblivion, you said?
Yes.
4, 5, 6, 7.
4 successes.
That's 12 dice for me. 5 successes.
4 for me.
Standing in the unnatural shadow on the far wall, blending in with the paint job, is a thin, blonde woman of indiscriminate age. She's dressed in all black and looks as if she's cosplaying as Scarlet Witch. She's frozen as if she's trying to escape Hestia's view.
I'm sorry, did you say blonde?
Yes,
Oh my god, is it her?
it is not. Though there
Oh,
is
thank
some,
god.
though there is some familial resemblance.
Oh god.
Hey, lady.
I take out my gun and I point it. And I say, you have exactly 3 seconds to tell me who you are and why you're here.
You all are aware that Lucio was pointing his gun at Hestia, right?
I move past her
Okay.
to make sure that she's not in the line of fire. That is a very powerful gun. I do not want her in the way.
Holy Christ, can't we just give 5 minutes where something isn't fucking with us?
She freezes and Lucio, could you go ahead and roll manipulation and intimidation? And Clyde, would you be so kind as to go ahead, roll charisma and persuasion?
Okay.
I will say, my dice pool for this is not 12. My dice pool for this is 2. Ah, got lucky.
Two successes.
All right. Hestia, you've seen Lucio become shadow before. It's always unnerving, but there's a grace and a fluidity to it, almost as if it's something that comes natural to him. as if something from the other side is beckoning him forward, assisting his ability to literally become darkness. This is not that. This is a relatively amateurish stumbling, a fumbling, and standing before you is a young-ish blonde woman dressed in Scarlet Witch cosplay. The black she's wearing isn't leather, but it is definitively tighter than it should be, and yet still baggy in most areas. She throws her hands up and looks from Lucio to over your shoulder towards Clyde. It's a job. It's just a job. Don't shoot me.
Not like a singogram or something.
Again, what is your name? Who sent you?
I'm Michelle. The CNT told me to snoop around, see if there were anything they could use.
So you're working for them.
It's just a job. Don't take it personal. I'm supposed to make sure, see how many people were here, and let them know that there are 6 of you guys, and that you guys have like big guns, or how many guns you guys have. That's the only one, right? You're not gonna shoot me with it, are you?
Sweetie, that gun is the least of your worries.
I'm gonna whisper in Lucio's ear. I think I can take care of this.
Look, please don't hurt me. Like, look, we're in a hallway. There's so many people like within earshot. You don't want to hurt me because I'll scream and your cover will be blown.
Okay, let me roll forgetful mind.
I'm gonna still keep my gun trained on her, but I'll let Clyde do his thing.
All right, sounds like a plan.
Okay, now I think.
Oh God, what are you guys gonna do?
Hunger 1. Alright. And then once again. Alright. I look at her and then I start to describe. There's there's only 2 of us, and basically there's one very, very tall, fat guy with an accent, like an European accent. Then I tell her that we are deciding that we need to run because the G-Man are after us.
Okay.
Oh, I need to roll. I forgot. Manipulation and dominate, right? 3 successes.
She repeats what you say. There are only 2 of you with a tall gentleman with an accent, and you guys are running from the G-Men.
Yeah, and there's this big fat dude. He sounds like an Ayoka.
Yes, there's a big fat dude, a New Yorker.
Yeah, and you spend the whole night watching them, and nobody suspicious came in.
Right, no one suspicious at all.
And is there anybody else with you?
Is there anybody else with me?
I'm asking you.
There's just me in the building.
Okay, then you know, remember, just two blonde European fat New Yorker. And next time when you came here, when you come here, you will be as very polite and you announce yourself, please.
Of course.
I give the thumbs up to the rest of the room. Did I miss something? All right. I think we're done here. You know, wait in the lobby and then go back to where you came from and yell them and tell them what you learned.
When she starts, if she starts to move, I'm gonna move, or I'm gonna whisper to Hestia, just say the word if you want me to stake her. Low enough so that she doesn't hear.
She turns around and starts walking back toward the lobby.
I don't let her get but like 2 feet, and I'm moving. I do have rapid reflexes, so what I'm gonna do is knock her to the floor real quick and start searching her pockets.
Okay. All right, go ahead, roll strength and melee for the tackle. And then your search is going to be your wits and technology.
I'd also like to help her once I see her, like, rush her down. Like, I'll try and help her, like, keep her down. And I think I'd also, like, well, actually, I'll wait for this next, for what happens next.
What was the second one?
Wits and technology.
Hey guys. Since we're beating her up now, can I maybe have her? I have a use for her actually.
And what's that?
In the course of trying to tackle her, I put my finger up and put my finger to my lip, like shh.
Two
And point
successes.
to my ears.
2 successes is more than enough. Are you attempting to do damage to the tackle or just to knock her to the ground, knock her prone?
Mostly knock her prone so I can get the phone out of her pocket.
All right, sounds like a plan. So, in the process of moving forward as quickly as you do, you blur for half a step and you ram into her with a sufficient force to send her sprawling. As she lands, you and Lucio are there above her, wrestling her, going through her pockets. Pretty much, you look like a very classy jailhouse scene or a robbery in progress. She does have a phone on her. It is an iPhone 6. i.e. barely touchscreen, so old tech that it's laughable that it's still viable as communication option, but it works. And there's a call in progress.
I turn the screen towards Lucio so he can see. That's what, and then I point to my lips again. very slowly get up
I just
and
mouth
take the
the word.
phone into the office.
Do I recognize
You
the
can have her,
number?
Dizzy.
Thank you.
What I was nice. Where's the blonde New Yorker guys?
Oh, the other thing I was gonna do was I was gonna use cloud memory to make her forget just that moment where we tackle her. If that's at all possible.
Oh, that's definitely possible. That's for you and Dizzy to work out how quickly that transfer happens. At this point, being as she's rolled in the memory, she's not really defensive at this point, unless of course you roll a failure. It's a definite success.
What's the dice pool?
Cloud memory.
Manipulation, dominate.
So 2 dice for me.
Nice.
Dizzy will also hold her hand out to Hestia and indicate the phone and be like, "Do you want me to take care of that nasty thing?"
So I am going to use a willpower on this, but I just realized that one of them should have been a hunger dice. I didn't put that in.
All right, so that's a reroll. You need that hunger.
So
Okay.
I'll just put it in 1 here. All right, so it's 1 success.
All right, so you clout the last few moments of the tackling and the ransacking of her pockets. She's still very curious as to where are the 2 New Yorkers? Where's the blonde? How'd you guys get here? Where'd they go?
Clyde, you might need to do your thing again. But
You know, I can, but I need to feed because then I get a little bit queasy and people, you know. All right, let me try it. Okay.
All right, no hungrier. Cloud is still managed to maintain his composure. All right, so what memory are you implanting? And then, Hestia, the phone, did you hand it over to Dizzy? What are you doing with it?
I didn't hand it over to her. I wrote the number. I'm writing the number down in the process of being very, very quiet. And then once I have the number written down, and I'm taking note of how long the call has been going for,
47 and a half minutes.
then I write that down next to it and very carefully then hand it to Dizzy to see what she wants to do with it.
And when Dizzy gets a hold of it, she'll just crush it in the dust.
So the call is over. There's no one else there. Now, the young lady who is still under the sway of all of the mental domination over the last few minutes is a bit off kilter. Is there anything you would like to tell her, anything you would like her to do? It is entirely up to you because she is literally, for the next few moments, putty from the accosting, both physically and mentally. She is clearly not as well fed as a normal kindred should be, and based on her waifishness, it's more than likely a lifestyle choice.
Dizzy will look at Clyde and go, "So you can like mind fuck her some more, right?"
Yeah, but nice, you know. Yeah.
What's nearby, like a meeting place or something?
Do you want me to ask her?
One.
Something?
Well, no, she's just asking the group.
There's a bar not too far.
Yeah, I don't want to use the bar. I feel like I'm going to hunt there a lot, so maybe somewhere else.
Well, there's several spots along moors that could be used for meeting locations. There's a late night boba tea, not far from Sheridan. There's close to Ashland. There's a few churches that are open all night. There's also a laundromat and the McDonald's not far.
The McDonald's will work. Can we maybe get her to wait out front of the McDonald's? And here, I'm going to send a text real quick, but my phone is her phone, right?
Okay.
And as long as we're on board with that, if he's willing to dominate her into doing that and taking my phone, and assuming it's her phone, she'll text back to that number to meet in front of that McDonald's.
You don't need to do that. Actually, I'm just gonna do persuasion.
Is this a single use or is it a single use? I don't remember.
Actually, I have dominate and compel, so I can do it if you're kind of tapped.
No. That I just don't remember. Oh yeah, it's a single use. Right? Roll and repeat.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'll do it. Since you've already done a couple of them, I can do it.
I do it. I'll do it just for hunger.
That's always fun when Clyde gets hungry.
Yeah. So you want me to roll the manipulation dominate?
Yep. As long as you don't fail, it's a success.
If he gets too hungry, we can always bring Aiden in. Aiden's real comfortable with Clyde.
Okay. 4 successes.
All right. So you implement that your phone is her phone and have her text the number that she's ready for pickup at the McDonald's and send her on her way. The trap has been baited, but what exactly is the trap?
I just want to see what happens to her.
That will not be very, very kind. So, as we draw to a close on this moment, the things that actually take place as she makes her way to the McDonald's, her use well appointed. She's tapped. She's absent-mindedly standing in front of the McDonald's, not sure why she's there. She didn't even like the food during her breathing days. She starts muttering and bumbling to herself, being as she has arranged for pickup, retrieval, a Tesla, a red Tesla. Now, are you guys watching from inside the McDonald's, across the street? Have you guys decided to drive one of the vans and just hide low key and stake her out? Or are you skulking from the rooftops like imitations of Batman or Shadowhawk?
Wherever the safest vantage point would be. I mean, if rooftops are an option, that's probably the best.
It is. There's a ramshackle 2-story storefront church directly across the street from the McDonald's. There's several other rooftops that you can reach from there, but as it's the only one with a back porch with easy roof access without having to climb the building, that would probably be the best. So who all is deciding to watch, wait, and see what transpires? Anyone else accompanying Dizzy, or is it just whispers?
I as much as I'd like to, there are other things that I think Lucio needs to accomplish before the night's end.
Okay.
I need to feed.
Alex, Hestia, are you leaving Dizzy and Whispers on their own accord?
Hestia wouldn't have gone in the first place. She's not of the mental capacity right now, and also, she's not very good at sneaking. So she's gonna leave the espionage. She's the spies of the group, and spend her time back at the Haven, trying to figure out if anybody else needs to be made aware of the situation that they have going on right now, i.e., Simone being gone.
Okay. All right, so Clyde is off hunting. Alex, are you accompanying? Lucio's taking care of his business. So Dizzy and Whispers. You see her muttering to herself back and forth in front of the McDonald's. And a cherry red Tesla eases into the lot. The reason why a Tesla stands out is because Rogers Park, while decently appointed in some areas, is completely deplorable financially in others. The McDonald's is right on the mid-range of two of such areas, people who actually have a job and people who steal from people who have jobs. So a Tesla stands out, very much so. As it eases into a lot, she perks up and smiles and walks towards the Tesla's passenger door. As she opens it, her head disappears. Her body's pulled into the car, and it drives away.
It disappears like it becomes vapor, or disappears into the car?
It disappears into the car, separate of her body.
I'll look at Whispers and goes, I'm glad I didn't make that text.
You tell me that the brutal.
And this is the second of several instances where the Don has believed he has plotted sufficiently in advance. And we end with the Coterie tending to their various businesses, aware that the forces aligned against them or counter to their drives are determined, willing to kill, and not above exploiting anyone. I want to thank you all for a lovely episode. I look forward to seeing you all next week. Over the next few days, I'll get a few prompts up, and the episode will be posted shortly, so you guys can review at your leisure. And once again, with all due honesty, with all due respect for you all, thank you so much for the episode. You have a nice night.
Thank you. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night. Thanks.